a wonderful way to feel like an Angelino and eventually feel like I've truly become an Angelino. You know, one of the things that has really impressed me about KPCC is their commitment to fact-based journalism, but that they also so deeply value the human narratives that are interwoven and make up the
Continue on West Sunset Boulevard for about 3 miles.
Sustaining member or a member of KPCC. So visit kpcc.org to learn more.
KPCC supporters include the American Heart Association, bringing the Heart and Stroke Walk digital experience to homes across Los Angeles, September 28th to October 10th. Whether it's walking in the neighborhood, dancing at home, or biking at a nearby trail, every move made and every dollar raised is to help save lives from heart disease and stroke and make Los Angeles a healthier place for all. Details are available at heartwalkla.org. Sponsored by Keck Medicine of USC and Biosense Webster.
You're listening to the BBC World Service. This is News Hour, coming to you live from London with James Kamarasamy. A series of recent incidents involving killer whales and sailing boats off the coast of Spain are raising the possibility that orcas are orchestrating what amounts to attacks on the vessels. Rudders have been damaged and crew members left bruised after the vulnerable mammals repeatedly rammed the ships. So, what's going on? Pablo Covello is a marine biologist with CEMMA, an NGO focused on research and rehabilitation of marine mammals and turtles in Galicia.
Well, we prefer to use the term interactions and not attacks, and this is the big question. We don't know exactly why they have been harassing, and always sailboats. That's important to focus it. Always sailboats. Orcas are very curious animals, and it's normal for them sometimes to follow boats closely and even came to the stern to surfing the waves created by propellers, for instance. But we don't know why they have rammed hulls or even broke rudders like they did in the last weeks here in the north of Spain. They are catalogs that we, the research groups from different areas, we share, and we know that these animals came from the strait and they are juveniles. So maybe being juveniles, it could be some kind of learning or some kind of game. We don't know it. But of course, this behavior is very striking. And nowadays, we don't have an answer that can give you why they do that.
Right, it's interesting. Yes, you call them interactions, so it's not clear what the intent is, whether it is friendly or unfriendly.
Well, maybe not very friendly, because they even break the rudder, and one of the episodes required the service of the sea rescue service to tow the sailboat to a harbor. But we don't know why they just choose sailboats. Why? We don't know that.
So should anyone sailing in this part of the world be pretty concerned at the moment?
Yes, even the official service sea rescue launched radio advice to all the sailboats that you can hear in the maritime radios, and each hour they repeat, if you see orcas, please keep distance and notify.
There has been a theory that they are upset because the levels of noise are louder than they have been during the pandemic. More boats sailing. Is that a possible explanation?
We don't believe that. It could be, because, for instance, one of the episodes, the crew told us they dare turn off all the electronics and the engine, and the orcas go away. But in some it's nothing, and the
music attributed to Handel more than likely by someone else altogether we don't know who. We'll call it for now Concerto Grosso number 4A, 10 from the Opus 3. Music by Handel here on Classical KUSC. Coming up in moments, something from Brazil.
This is Brian Lorenzen, your weekday afternoon host and host of A Joyful Noise on Sunday mornings. With your help right now, we're building the first ever Classical California Ultimate Playlist. What piece do you think should make the list? Maybe some choral music should be there. You help decide.
Help create the first ever Classical California Ultimate Playlist. Vote for your favorites now at KUSC.org.
This is KUSC 91.5 FM and HD1 Los Angeles and Orange County. Worldwide at KUSC.org. Classical KUSC is a broadcast service of the University of Southern California, home of the USC Mercier School of Education, building our cultural community, making Southern California.
In a half of a mile, turn right onto the US 101 South.
Good afternoon. Rich Caparella with you. Thank you so much for making us part of your weekend. Later on, music by Haydn, Sinfonia Concertante for strings and winds. And right now, music by the Brazilian composer, lived until 1993, Moreno Blau. By Blau, here is a concertino for oboe and strings. André Schmiller is the oboist with the group Camarada Bariloche.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto the US 101 South. Next, right onto the US 101 South. In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Northwestern Avenue. In 0.6 miles, turn left onto North Figueroa Street, and then drive straight onto California 110 North. In a half of a mile, turn left onto North Figueroa Street. In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto North Figueroa Street, and then drive straight onto California 110 North. Next left onto North Figueroa Street, and then drive straight.
André Speller was the Barrelash accompanied. We've heard Concertino for Oboe and Strings by the Brazilian composer who lived until 1993, his name Breno Bluff. This is Classical KUSC, music by one of the members of Los Angeles Guitar Quartet music.
Drive straight onto California 110 North.
Classical music in the palm of your hand, anytime, anywhere. Download and find your peace.